is the return of the Rewind podcast. Of course, I'm Kev Nash. Appreciate everybody checking out last week's episode. We dug super deep on the Purple Tape, only built for Cuban Links on the 25th anniversary of that CD, man. If you never heard that CD before, do yourself a favor, go to Apple Music or Spotify, wherever you stream your music, and definitely check it out. But once again, got my big dog, Big Hunt, is in the building.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man? Glad to be back here, man. You keep bringing it back around. I keep thinking, man, like, man, this is great, man. I just love breaking these CDs down that we've been talking about this stuff for years, but you put it in front of camera now.
For sure. And back again, Kelz. Kelz, what's good?
Nothing, man. I'm good. Like I said, man, I'm always happy to be here and add my input, man, because it's always good to see everybody's different view on how things work.
Facts.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be another here on this particular pod. As we know, this guy is always late.
Man,
brother, y'all best friend. You know what I'm saying? Y'all choose that like that dude. I have to like this dude. So, you know, I'm sure he'll probably come with his main late time, show up for the last minutes of the pod and just throw our rhythm off. But you know, be on the lookout for that later on in the pod, man. So the album we doing this week is Tupac's Me Against the World. We back in 95 again, man. I don't know what it is about the year 1995. When I was going through the albums that I really wanted to review, man, I started noticing a lot of them came out in 95, man. Hunt, I know we did this last week. Real quick, what remind people of what came out in 95?
Mobb Deep Infamous, Mac 10's first CD. Only Built for Cuban Links, Raekwon CD. Liquid Swords by the Jizza. Old Dirty Bastard, Return to the 36 Chambers. Soul Food by Goody Mob. Bone, East 1999. 8-Ball MJG, Sitting on Top of the World, and E40 In a Major Way. That's just a few, but it was. We always give 1994 all the credit, but 1995, man, they got a lot, man,
a lot of heat out there, man. So it's only right, since we're doing a Tupac CD, to do a quick timeline of Tupac's life. He was only on the earth. He was only on this earth for 25 years. He did a lot in a little bit of time, man. So Tupac, born in 1971, lived in New York, moved to Baltimore, then moved to Oakland. In 1990, he hooked up with Shock G, was a roadie with Digital Underground. 91 is when we first heard him rap. He featured on Same Song for, what was that? Nothing But Trouble soundtrack. So later on in 91, we get his debut album, Tupacalypse Now, with the singles Brenda's Got a Baby and Trapped. 92, Stars in Juice. And that's what really put Tupac on the map, him starring in Juice with Omar Epps. Then in 93, big record for him. Strictly For My Niggas drops. Keep Your Head Up and Not Get Around. Huge records. Also in 93, stars in Poetic Justice with Janet Jackson, obviously a John Singleton movie. Later on that year in 93, he shoots 2 police officers in Atlanta and actually gets off. All charges were dropped. Later on in 93, beats up the Hughes brothers over Ministry of Society. Then also in 93, that's when the whole sexual assault case started. He was charged with sexual assault in New York City. Then 94, stars in Above the Rim. In November of 94, the sexual assault case opens. While on trial, gets shot in New York City, checks himself out the hospital, then gets convicted of sexual abuse in December of 94. February 95, he is sentenced to 4.5 years in prison for sexual abuse. That March 95, Me Against the World drops. So we're all the way up to 95. Then by October of 95, Suge Knight posts bail of $1.4 million. Pac signs to Death Row Records. February 96, All Eyes on Me drops. August of 96, he records the Machiavelli album. And then in September of 96, he shot and killed in Las Vegas. All that in 25 years.
Man, if I could jump in here and what you said from 91 to the end of '94, where you got the shooting of the cops, where you have the sexual assault charge, which I believe, I don't know if he did it. Sound like the homies did it, and she, maybe got mad or something. Then, like, man, like, so when you hear this CD, it kind of makes sense, his mentality, man, especially with the shooting in New York. So I get it, man. Like, I definitely get his mentality going into this particular CD.
Super understandable, Hunt. You can tell that the guy's got something on his mind as you listen to the CD, and it's pretty heavy, because if you think that, but that was when rap was starting to get dark, as Kev and I talked about on that Ready to Die.
Yeah, okay.
Because hip hop was Carl Kanai and that type of shit. And that album dropped, and then you just get darker music coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what was y'all thoughts about Tupac going into this CD? How did y'all feel about his first two projects? Like, who was he to y'all?
I'll go for it. That's a great question. Like, I feel like I had this relationship with Tupac, like, because, and here's not because of the music though, but okay, my brother, being a brother, the DJ of a brother, you always get these CDs that come through the house. His first CD was Tupacalypse Now. Man, only like one song. Man, hold on. Somebody just trying to call me, man. Flip this back. Okay. Tupacalypse Now, only like one song of that CD. That song Violent. Brenda's Had a Baby was cool. Okay, I guess, you know what I mean? But yeah, that one song Violent. And then the next CD came out, Strictly for My Niggas. It had some songs off it. It had some singles. It had I Get Around. Was Keep Your Head Up on that?
Yeah, Keep Your Head Up. Okay. Was Holla If You Hear Me on there too?
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of that either. So up until those two CDs, you had Ice Cube, you had Scarface, you had Tupac. These three guys were kind of like, Tupac at that time wasn't really with a Ice Cube or a Scarface. I remember at Collinwood, like, it was when I was in 11th grade, people would say, man, who you with? Scarface or Ice Cube, man. Those two were like the icons of gangster rap right now. They was kind of like taking over. So you had Tupac, who really wasn't a gangster rapper, but he kind of was in their category. You know what I mean? He didn't talk about being directly on the corner selling drugs and stuff like that. He would talk about, this is what niggas do as far as being on the corner selling drugs because of our situations and stuff like that. So I felt like he was trying to get himself, on the likes of a Scarface and an Ice Cube and stuff like that. So I wasn't a big fan of his music. Now, I don't want to take too much time. So 1993 comes around at the Metropolis, a Tupac concert. We go, me, Tony, Jermaine, Larry Underwood, we go to this Tupac concert. And your brother would say, man, it was packed. Man, it was like everybody there. So he came out to No Nuts, No Glory, to the beat. Jermaine says he came out freestyling to it. No, he didn't. He just came out to the beat. What's up, Cleveland? You know what I mean? All of a sudden, he gets to run in his mouth, man. Boom. It was like 15 bouncers down there. Boom. And they fighting the crowd. The crowd trying to get at Tupac, man, trying to get on stage. And it was just big melee down there. But from there, that was in 93. He started to have his star power now. There's one thing that the Ice Cube and Scarface did not have. They didn't have what he had as far as with the women and being a sex symbol. That really catapulted Tupac, if you ask me, man. So at this time, he was like this star. He had the movies, Above the Rim. He had Juice and stuff like that. So he was like this star. What really got me interested in Tupac is when I read his Vibe magazine interview, which I forwarded to y'all. So after that, I bought the All Eyes on Me. And I just wanted to hear what he had to say on this CD and everything. So that was my take on Tupac. I wasn't a fan of his music from the first 2 CDs. I thought he was okay. Okay, I just thought he was just an okay rapper. So that was my take on him. So thus far.
So for me, it was all about his verse on Same Song. I just
That
remember
was a
the
good
video.
verse. Yeah.
I remember the video. I remember going to see the movie at Severance. So like that stuck with me. So I didn't really understand like he was a rapper. I just, all right, he was a guy on a song, whatever. But you see him in Juice. And seeing him in Juice, to me, he was an actor. Like I didn't even think of him as a rapper. But then like once everything just like started happening so fast, you see him in Juice, and then you like get kind of caught up in all those other albums and everything like that. So y'all remember when you used to have that mail-in slip that would come inside magazines and, all right, pick your first 10 albums for free?
Yeah.
I did that.
Oh,
never paid for it. That's how I built up my CD collection. I saw like, oh, Tupac. So I ordered the Tupac, the Tupacalypse Now, strictly for my niggas. So I ordered those CDs or whatever, and I'm listening to them, and it's like, well, this ain't nothing like that I was listening to before. This is not the Crisscross. This is not. This ain't Same Song. This is not what I'm used to listening to or whatever. So I paid it no mind. But it was really after Above the Rim that I matured a lot more and started listening to hip hop more. So for me, Tupac was just like you said, Hunt, that he like became a superstar because he was in the movie. So mainstream to everybody. So that's how I was introduced to Tupac. What about you, Kelz?
Well, I wasn't a big pop fan. I was like Hunt. I remember Violent, and I re-listened to that album, and it just really wasn't very good. I feel like Tupac was a good rapper, but he was a singles rapper. And you know what I mean like that by being in the radio industry, Kevin.
Yeah.
He would have 1 or 2 singles that could get you to buy an album, but then the album was just full of really just not great stuff, in my opinion. And I'm glad you mentioned Same Song, because I remember looking at that, and that was, and I'm gonna steal one of Hunt's things. I'm a little story. So I remember Hunt when we used to work out at Fitworks, and we would talk about rap music all the time. And I remember one day we sitting there, I think it was me, you, and your buddy Bert, and talking about Bone, and they talking about Bone and how Bone is good rap, and it was either you or Bert said, "Well, kick me a verse." And that's the category I put Tupac in.
Okay.
The Tupac lovers, they don't want to hear this. Kick me a verse. Kick me a quotable. He just doesn't have that. And I think he was a movie star that did music. And he did okay music. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the hard part is that, it sucks because he passed away, so you don't get to see what he could have turned into as an artist or a person. And I think the hardest thing now is looking back at him and his memory is someone stole his lane. A guy by the name of Nipsey Hussle, a dude who's not a great rapper, had a message, but now everybody says they have all this great love for him, and because they passed. And I put it in the same category. They're guys that they got some okay songs, but their best efforts, when you listen to their best efforts, you're like, okay, here it is. And you can, I hate to say he's a take it or leave it rapper to me. He's not a top 5 guy. And he always had singles. And I think that's what made him big with the people who bought music, was he had singles.
Fair enough. I was after I really got hip to Tupac, I was a huge fan of Trapped. I really like that song. I never really liked Brenda's Got a Baby. I mean, I understand, and we need those type of songs in hip hop, good message song and everything like that. But like, that's not something you're gonna play. Like
exactly. That ain't something I'm bumping.
Brenda Got a Baby.
but definitely I Get Around, Holla If You Hear Me were like some big songs that I do remember listening to like in middle school and high school, like that I really liked back then, man. But as for this album, man, let's go ahead and jump into it a little bit, man. Let's jump into the track by track breakdown if y'all ready.
You know, one thing I meant to mention is that when you listen to his flow too, that's something that you notice that the flow on the same song is not the flow that he has in any of his other music. He only has that flow in 2 songs. Same song and I Get Around. And who was in the room when those songs were written? Shock G. That's another thing I will really want to mention is that his flow is very different when you listen to those 2 songs and you listen to everything else. And I'm not saying that Shock G was the pen or nothing like that. You don't want to upset the Tupac fans. But, but just listen to that when you get a chance. Listen to those songs, listen to those verses. They have a very Humpty Hump sound.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Watch it on YouTube. All right. Big Against the World, Tupac, dropped on March 14th, 1995. The intro. I really love the intro to this record, man. It tells you exactly what's going on and exactly what you're going to get from this project. Where was you at with it, Kelz?
The intro was good, man. Like you said, it paints the picture of what was going on in his life, and it takes us through, kind of like how you took us through the years of where he was. It's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. I think for intro, it's hard to screw up an intro, so it's good.
Keep track of them subliminal jabs, man. That's two. That's two.
Already.
What's up, man?
The intro puts you. We text about this earlier, and I'm gonna ask Kel about that. We text about this earlier, Kev. It puts you in the moment. It puts you in the moment with Tupac. Now, this CD I bought, I was actually in the moment. I bought it when it came out, and I rode to it. Kel, were you in the moment with this CD? Did you buy it right around when it came out?
Oh, this one, man. The crazy part I forgot to mention is I was the dude with the first PlayStation in Pennsylvania. When what happened was this CD reminds me of NBA Live, because I remember one day we go to the mall, that the PlayStation comes out, whatever. And then a year later, that's when they really start dropping all the good games. And that was when Live 96 came out. So I remember the guys would listen to this and they would play live and listen to this CD. That's how I actually got hip to it. And
so when did you actually take it to the head for the first time?
I would say to me, it was, at the time, it pulled me in because it was good music. You know what I mean? At the time, and you be playing live and doing whatever you're doing. So it's that nostalgia thing we always talk about.
Yeah.
So I don't remember exactly when, but I remember I got hip to this CD playing live because one of my roommates had it.
Because I was telling Kev, and don't jump on me, Kev. Don't jump on me, Kev. But when you're not in the moment of a CD, sometimes you can miss the impact of it. Because I admit, it's these two. I'm gonna name 2 CDs because back in the day, it was impossible to just be hip to everything. It was just you was gonna sleep on some stuff. So it's 2 CDs that I'm gonna just admit I wasn't in the moment with, and it's hard for me to fully grasp them now. Slick Rick, Great Adventures of Slick Rick. I probably heard it like
you for that.
Yeah, it's probably 4 years afterwards, and I was just like, it's okay. And then this one, Kel, and I'm gonna hide it. I say this Southern Playlistic. I wasn't in the moment with it, man. Look, I had it in the car, but I really just never played it, man. I never really played it. So then like 2 years later, after ATLiens came out, I started playing it, but I couldn't really get it. I was in the moment with this CD. The intro lets you know exactly what he was going through. It's kind of like, okay, you heard this. Now here's his mindset because of all of that. So, yeah. Were you in the moment with it, kid? Did you buy it right when?
I didn't buy it then, but I remember all summer, me and my high school buddies would listen to it all the time. Whenever we playing basketball in the backyard, he'd have it blaring or whatever. You know, this is, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to be 16 years old. So, you know, a lot of my older friends in high school had cars. So we ride around listening to it. So, like, that's how I really got introduced to the CD, just from being around, just like everybody else. You know, I really wasn't buying a ton of CDs like that at that time, but like that's how I really got into it. I was definitely listening to it when it came out. So then we got track 2, If I Die Tonight. Super dope record. But when I hear this song, I think about y'all still remember Rad and Quick? They used to
man, they some good CDs, man. You got any left?
I gotta find it in the garage somewhere. I got it. I got this exact one with this blend on it with If I Die Tonight on there. It is so dope. So when I listen to it now, all I really hear in my head is the R.A.D. and them scratching and everything.
Yeah, man.
I really listen to the song a couple times to focus in on what this song is about, as opposed to thinking about, damn, I gotta find that damn mix CD. So I really like this song. I really like If I Die Tonight. What's up, Hunt? Where was you at with it?
This is a Easy Mo B track, man. I saw Easy Mo B saying Tupac heard the Biggie song off the Who's the Man soundtrack. What's that song, man? Yes. That was before. That was like what, 92 or something.
Yeah.
And he did. Easy Mo B did that. So Tupac was like, "Hey, man, I heard that track that you did for Big, man. Give me some, man." So Tupac said he gave Tupac all these beats. So Tupac would say, "Well, I'm gonna put this one here. I'm gonna put this one on Thug Life. I'm gonna put this one here." So this is an Easy Mo B track. When I hear Tupac rhyme on this If I Die Tonight, I said, "Man, you know this dude can rap, man. This dude can rap, but it's just an okay track. I like the chorus of it though. Get 2 nights tonight. Yeah. It's a solid track for me though. It's a solid track. Yeah.
I'm 100% with you. Solid track. It's there's something in it though that it's hard to make it hard for me to listen to. I call it Sylvester the Cat. Remember Sylvester the Cat? It's like Paul the Pit. Come on.
And he come in with the P words. Yeah.
A therapist, and they say pronounce better, and it's hard for me to not hear that in the song, the enunciation of the words, where it's as if someone told him you need to enunciate better when you speak. When you hear when you listen to it, it's like Paul of the Pit. I'm like, whew. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we got the title track on track 3, Me Against the World, with who we know now as the Outlaws. On here, that was called what? The Dramacidal, yeah, but eventually we know them now as the Outlaws. I think about the opening scene in Bad Boys, the original Bad Boys. They play that in there. You know, Bad Boys comes on like every day on VH1 since we in COVID-19 world. They running out of shit to play. But I think about that opening scene in Bad Boys whenever this song come on. Another solid track for me. The line about the crooked politicians always stood out to me. One of those positive Pac songs that you always get on every album. So I really mess with Me Against the World, and the hook. I really like it too. What's up,
Kel? Go ahead, Kel.
It sounds very 90s.
Yeah.
When you hear it now, with the lady singing on the hook, the beat, it's a positive song. It's hard to say bad things about a positive song. You know what I mean?
3. You ain't got to sugarcoat it.
Oh man.
But it's very 90s. It's prototypical Tupac to me. It's they hook you in with the singles, and then you get this stuff.
That's borderline 4, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go 4.
Man, this song is produced by Soul Shock and Carlin. So I looked these guys up because it had an R&B feel to it. Like I never heard of these guys. Matter of fact, Tupac has like 14 producers on this CD.
Right.
This is why I cater more to groups, because groups have like their own sound. EPMD, Eric Sermon, UGK, Pimp C, man, like groups have Outkast, Dungeon Fam. They always got their own sound, man. This we had like 14 producers on here. So Soul Shock and Carlin produced CeCe Peniston, Tony Braxton, Monica's Before You Walk Out My Life. And the most recent thing they did was 2016 was Backstreet Boys. Okay, so they like this. Then this CD is this track is a real R&B feel, man. But actually, what he's saying is, hey man, I got this rape charge pending that I didn't do. I think these dudes from New York just set me up, dude. It's just, man, I got a lot of haters. I'm paranoid. It's me against the world.
Yeah.
For me, it's the equivalent if I die tonight.
Yeah.
He could probably tie those if I die tonight because it's me against the world. You know what I'm saying?
Going back to back with it. I feel you.
Exactly.
So we on a track.
Oh! Can I throw this in too? Go ahead. I forgot Dramacidals on here. So I just got jumped on Facebook. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I just got that, and it's in that group, Kev, that we're in.
I seen that.
Yeah, man. I told her, hey, man. So Kev, it was a picture of Tupac with the Outlaws. I said, oh, wackest crew ever. I said it was. Yeah.
What earlier, man, is that it's hard to be objective a lot of times with Tupac. That's why I started listening to when Kev told us we was doing this. I started listening to this 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be able to come around, because I feel I feel if you say bad stuff about Tupac or someone related to him or his crew, everyone comes at you. But no.
Hey, one of the dudes said, hey, man, you one of the kind of, you gonna get punched in your face. Yeah, really, man. Really. Hey. But, man, listen, man, the Outlaws have never said anything that I had to rewind. Every time I hear these guys rhyme, it's like, man, do you want a record deal or not, man? Come on, man. Bring it, man. Come on, man. I never understood his infatuation, why he put these guys on, man. I just never heard nothing from them. I think on the first song, Bomb First on Machiavelli, Edie Amin kind of brings it. That's about all I've ever heard of them, man. And it's like 9 of them, man. A lot of them dead, though.
RP to Fatal. He had a couple joints. Fatal had a couple joints, man.
Daddy? I'm just asking, man. So my thing was like, name me outlaw hit, man. Somebody name me, please, an outlaw hit, man. But yeah, go ahead, Kev. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's cool. You had to get that off your chest, man.
Man.
So we got a single, So Many Tears, a Stevie Wonder sample, That Girl. Great thing.
Yeah.
To flip such a pop sounding song and turn it dark, because this song is super dark. Shock G produced this, and this is one of the rare songs in hip hop where you get 4 verses. I didn't even notice that until like I want to say yesterday when I was listening to it one more time. I was like, hold on, was that 4 verses? I went back and listened to it again. 4 verses. This man is paranoid as hell on this song.
Man.
Hey, if I know we're gonna get into a lot of another Pac stuff later, but he's selling it. He acting his ass off if it ain't true, because he is paranoid as hell on this song. Really like this. What's up, Kelz?
So Many Tears. I actually used to like this song a lot, because it was a good place where it made, it fell in there, and like you said, it was a good song, and the flow was together. You know what I mean? That whole thing I talk about, the Shock G thing of how, I don't know, I bet more of his music probably would have been better if he did more stuff with that digital underground sound, or Shock G, because the stuff you hear that Shock G had his hands in sounds really good, and and the flow is good. It's concise. It's the guy in the room that says, "Oh, you need to do this."
Yeah,
and you can tell when Tupac has direction versus when Tupac is to choose his own direction.
It's funny you say that because, you know, Tupac, whenever you Google anything on Tupac, there's going to be a Vlad interview that pops up. So I listened to one with Idi Amin, and he was talking about how when they made the Machiavelli album and parts of Me Against the World, they was picking beats from the quote-unquote whack room. And it's like, if you look at like the track list and the producers on there, like it's not your Johnny J's. There's no Daz on the Machiavelli album. Like he said, Pac didn't care. He said he felt like he's good enough to make anybody's beat sound great. And then it was like talk about the Hail Mary beat, and it was like, man, like nobody liked the Hail Mary beat but him. And it's like, well, he made a hit record out of the Hail Mary beat. So that's a little food for thought with Tupac, kind of like how you were saying, like with direction and picking beats. Like maybe it's the Nas effect. You know, that's the always big thing about Nas. Nas picking whack beats and not having direction. So that's food for thought. Hunt, where was you at with So Many Tears?
I love this track, man. I believe that Tupac has the best rap voice. I really do, man. I think
better than Method Man.
Yes. And if you notice when you listen to Tupac, he it's two voices. Sometimes he'll rap over it. He'll rap, then he'll rap over it. So it's like two voices. I think he has the best, my favorite rap voice in hip hop. Man, listen to how he starts it off. He's so paranoid. He's so going through it. Back in elementary, thrived on misery. This dude is thinking back, man, I was 8 years old, 9 years old, man, I had it rough, man.
But Hunt,
and I still got it rough.
But do you really think that that's what really was going on, or do you think it was an act?
I'm just saying, back to his mindset. I don't know. I don't know, because you got to figure this is after his mom was probably on drugs back then. You know what I'm saying? So it could be, but I'm just saying, listen to his mindset. He's thinking way back. Man, and Kev, I wrote it. I had to research the sample, but I never knew listening to it that was that Stevie Wonder sample. I love, now you saw me and Tony was going at it last week about heaven and hell.
Yeah.
Look, man, they were saying that's heaven and hell. Production. Exactly, man. This is good production.
Don't say they. Don't say they. Tony said that. I didn't say that.
Stopping the track and removing
exactly, man.
That's not.
This is good production. This is good production when you can disguise the originals, slow it down and stuff like that, and make it sound, give it a new feel. But yeah, man, this track is a winner for me, man. It's definitely, and I didn't know it's 4 verses. I didn't know it's 4 voices, but you know what? But Tupac always has a lot to talk about. He always has a lot of subject matter, man. That's a huge plus for him. So.
All right, so we on the track 5, Temptations, another Easy Mo beat. Great video. One of the greatest videos of all time.
This is the song that brought me in. This is the song that brought me in. I think you had Jada Pinkett in the video. You had Tretch in the video. The Eric Sermon sample.
Yes.
This was the song that got me into listening to this. It was really good. I was like, man, this bumps. It still bumps.
Yeah.
But I bet you could still probably play this in the club probably if you mix it in with something.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Like you were saying, like the video had Ice-T in the video as the bellhop or the clerk or whatever. No, Coolio was the bellhop.
Yeah.
Ice-T was the front desk guy. But great video, great song. It used to be my favorite song. Used to be my favorite song on the album, but it's not no more. But great song. Hunt, where was you at with it?
Man, so on the production tip, do y'all know this is the same sample? This is what I'm talking about, some good production. It's the same sample as Deep Cover. Listen to the drums. Yeah, listen to the this is the same. Look, when we played it, I went and played it. I was like, oh, this is the same deep cover song. Same drums, man. Yeah,
Wow.
type it up
It,
to who sampled, man. Yeah, this is a winner. This is
I'm,
why the women love Tupac, man. This is why they
I'm
love it.
playing it right now. You're right.
Can you hear it? Yeah, you can hear it, man. Yeah. Say, man, that's a good disguise, man. Then he got the hey from Eric Sermon. Who would
Yeah.
have thought to use that, man? You know what I'm saying? Who would have thought to use that? But man, like,
This
hey,
beat is a
man,
monster.
like he used to tell Biggie, man, get the chicks on your team, man. Get the women on your team, man. And this is one of them songs, man. Like, I get this song is definitely a thumbs up, man. This is a song for longevity here.
Yeah, this is a song. High school parties in the basement, grinding against the wall. Like I remember it like yesterday. That's always gonna have a special place in my heart. Tupac Temptation, for sure, for sure. Now a song that will never have a place in my heart. Young niggas. This is a terrible song. Like ain't no way to undercut it. I know we're not supposed to talk bad about positive message songs and everything like that. Yeah, it's a great positive message, but this Cameo, we talked about how good the sample was from Temptations and So Many Tears. This is not a good sample from Cameo. This is also that other side of pop that we always get, but it's just not a good song. I'm not feeling Young Niggas at all.
Sounds very 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing sounds. It sounded. I bet it sounded old in 1995 when you initially heard it. It just was not. Yeah, man, this shit was bad. It was real bad, man. I'm gonna just leave it at that, man. I ain't even gonna beat up on it.
But did y'all listen? Okay, so this is what I had to do. Did you listen to what he was saying though?
Yeah.
He was talking like when he talk about again when I was 10. He talked about how easy he had it back then when he was like real young, man. He didn't have the pressures of life and stuff on him. Then when he ends the song talking about you telling the young homie, man, look, man, you could be an accountant. You ain't gotta be no drug dealer. You could be an accountant. He said you could be an attorney, stuff like that. Hey man, you can't talk bad about a song with a good message, man. So I mean, it really I had to zone into what he was saying, man, because I think personally, like they say, like Vlad always say Nas is the worst beat picker. I disagree. Tupac picked some bad beats, man. I mean, Nas got some beats. I'm like, yeah, but I
But
think Tupac, and it's what you said, Kev. He felt like he can turn any song.
yeah,
Like a lot of his beats is like, dude, even on the double CD, why you pick some of them beats, man? Like,
Yeah.
but this was a song that I had to zero into the lyrics. I like the positive message on here, man.
Of course, we like the message.
everybody likes
I don't
Everybody
like the
loves the message.
music.
Everybody
I
want to
don't
tell
like
the
the
young homies
music.
they can be anything they want to be. They can do it. But the song itself is just I'll never listen to that song again.
this.
Hey, heads up. I think heads up. Your brother said he got off at 8, and it's a 15-minute drive. I think he about to chime in soon. So
Oh,
It has a very, Kev, you know what young niggas is, man?
what's up?
It's what do you do when your nigga comes through? Those songs, man.
Ah,
I don't know.
I
I
don't
wouldn't
want to
call it
call a
that
bad
one,
no,
man.
song, but it's just a bad song.
no, that what you talking about is what Maine and Hunt call a F off song. That
Yeah, man.
this is like something like, but this is the Tupac. This is what Tupac is. He is all these things. He is
Yeah.
that temptation song that get the girls on the side. He is that me against the world. Like, hey, they fucking with me. I got a ton of haters. He is this. Hey man, we can be whatever we want to be. Black power. He is all these things.
You right,
And
Kev. You hit that dead on the head.
he is all those things. And it's like you said in the beginning, Kel. Like he was robbed of it by being murdered in Las Vegas and everything, that we never got a chance to see him evolve into what he possibly could have been. Could have been a much better rapper, could have been a great actor, could have been a lot of different things, but
Could have been
that's how
Will Smith. He could have been
yeah.
Will Smith. You know what I mean? But we
Yeah.
just don't know what could have happened. But you know my feelings about the guy. I think he's an actor, and I think that some of this stuff is kind of played up. Because the other thing was the dude never really got in trouble until he became famous. And
I'm glad you said that. I'm 1000% glad you said that, because the thing about it is, Meg Thee Stallion's never been in trouble before she got money. She found her ass shot in the foot. Tory Lanez was never in trouble until he got money. Like, there's something to be said about being in this world of entertainment and finding yourself
money, more problems.
Money, more problems. That shit is real. Like, but I don't think Pac is acting. I think he is all these things until this point. I don't think he goes into, as you would say, actor mode until All Eyes on Me. That's when there's a
full-fledged
dramatic shift.
He's a full-fledged
dramatic shift. Like, if you listen to those albums, if you listen to those 2 albums on Death Row, I mean, shit, you listen to the Machiavelli album, there's only one, good message Tupac song on there. You maybe got 1 or 2 on the double disc. So that, if you would say it then, I would 100% agree. Even though I still like the music that he made on the Death Row days, but this, I don't view this as him acting. I don't view this as him reaching or anything like that. I think this is pretty genuine. And I mean, as a 23-year-old when he made this album, you are going to get that. You are going to get a whole bunch of different aspects of your life pulling you in different directions and making this type of music. So
that's a good break. That's a great breakdown, Kevin. I'm with you. The acting didn't come until Here Comes Suge Knight. And then, you know what I'm saying? So he felt like he had to blow Death Row up for him, for bailing him out. So I'm with you. Like, before that, I thought he was pretty genuine. So,
I think that he was a dude that if he was in your crew, you probably liked him. If he wasn't with your crew, you probably didn't like the dude.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I got no gripes with that. We on the track 7, a solid song, not a great song. Heavy in the Game with Richie Rich, representing Oakland. This is something I'm starting to notice on here. Y'all might disagree with me, man, but some of the hooks are basic as hell. Like, the hook on here is super basic. I'm noticing the better produced songs have better hooks, and this is a bad version of G-Funk. Like, I'm not even sure if the G-Funk era had really, G-Funk had Warren G Regulators come out already?
Yeah.
Okay, so this
is a year after.
This is a Shot G beat as well, I believe. This is a bad version.
Is it? Okay.
It's just a bad version of a G-Funk song for me, but it's not a terrible song because for some strange reason, I liked Richie Rich verse on here. I don't know why. I never fucked with Richie Rich at all, but I like his verse. I did for some reason, but for the overall take, it's a bad version of G-Funk. Where was you at with it, Hunt?
Hey man, when I heard this song, I started laughing. I said, I bet you Kel never imagined that he'd be listening to a CD with Richie Rich on it.
Richie Rich was on Def Jam for a minute.
And not the one I watched as a little kid with his little dog Dollar. Not that Richie Rich.
Hey man, he was from the Bay. Tupac, man, he would put anybody on, man. He put anybody in his, you know what I mean? He bring them in. That's what you can say. Hey, you didn't have to be a star. Hey, you down with me? Come on in, man. But this song is terrible. I don't really like it, man. Kev, you hit it on the head again. This is some bad G-Funk, man. Like, God, do something with it, man. Like, I was just like, but if you listen to the lyric, Tupac not really saying, I thought he was saying he was heavy, like in the streets. He's talking about getting his money, and you know what I mean, people messing up their money and stuff like that. So don't be stupid with it, tricking off your money like the women and stuff he was saying. But Richie Rich definitely I thought he had a better verse than Tupac on here, but I ain't big on this song though.
What's up, Kelz?
I only had 2 notes from this song: bad G-Funk, like you said, and more of the same.
Okay.
There are certain songs in this album that you can just group together that just have a very, it's a song. It might not be filler, but it's a song.
Okay. Fair enough. Now we on to Lord Knows. I really like this song. I was surprised how much I like this song. I like the hook on here. It's still a basic ass hook, but I like the way it goes. Another one of those dark songs, Tupac talking about death as usual. And you know, Hunt, you can probably speak to this as well. You know, being a religious guy and everything. But you know, when you talk about that, it's gonna come for you, dog. And it ain't no surprise that dudes like Tupac and Biggie made songs like this end up meeting their demise early, man. So like that's the vibe I got from this song. Like, man, he is talking about it a lot. And not only just on this album, like on this song particularly, it stands out to me the most. And a solid song, but nothing to write home about, but I still like it. Mm-hmm. What's up, Kelz?
All right, guys, I'm trying to keep it nice here.
You ain't gotta keep it nice, man. It's your opinion.
So like I said, very 90s feel to it. It's there. I would say 6, 7, and 8 have very much of that more the same. It's kind of like when you're listening to that Mobb Deep Infamous we talked about, where it's starting to sound alike. And it's interesting because Hunt said there were so many different producers on it, but it seems to have a very similar feel and sound and all that stuff. I just really didn't really get into it. Yeah.
Lord knows. Like that was like annoying. Like it got annoying after a minute. But go ahead, Hunt.
So Kelly and I used to joke about that. I don't know if you remember, Kelly. We used to always pick on Maine with this song. But for me, this song is a college song. So of course, this song is close to my heart, man. If you ever watch certain stars, I know Prince, Tupac, a lot of them, it'd be this internal struggle. It's like I'm doing this kind of stuff, but God, you know what I mean? It's like this internal struggle. And then Tupac has had this internal struggle. Look at how he started Hail Mary. He started quoting all these scriptures at the beginning of it. But this is definitely a sign that he's got this internal struggle. And as he starts the song off, he says, I smoke a blunt to take the pain out. If I wasn't high, I probably broke my brains out. And he says, I'm hopeless. So again, but I text Kelly this week. I say, man, this is the same old thing throughout the whole CD, man. I mean, different beat, but he's saying the same old thing, man. He's paranoid, man. He's hopeless, man. But I like this song, though, man. I definitely like this song.
Okay, fair enough.
He's keeping it. He's keeping it. He says he's hopeless, but he's saying this: if I die for these circumstances that I've been in, I'm hoping I go to heaven. That's what he's saying. He's saying this ain't my fault. You know, all this stuff that's been happening to you, it ain't my fault. It ain't my fault that I was born. Don't know my dad. His definition of a thug was pretty much a victim of circumstance. And then after him came these thugs who saying, hey, I'm a thug, I'll snatch your purse. There's a difference between the type of thug that, you know what I'm saying? There's a different kind of thug that he said he was. So, but he had that internal struggle with himself, man.
That's fair enough. So then we probably go to Pac's most popular song of all time, Dear Mama. Yeah. Go ahead, Kelz. You go ahead. Get it off your chest.
Well, you know, I never liked the initial singles on a lot of albums. So this is another one of those things. And the one note that I have, and since you guys grew up with me, you know this, that I grew up with my dad. You know what I mean? So I probably could never just relate to this song because of that. And you know, it's great. Everybody loves their mama, I hope. I'm just trying to keep it positive a little bit, but you know, it's a praise to his mom. But there's a song that I admit you probably hear it 5 times on Mother's Day if you're listening to the radio, and I'm not the one to listening to it. I don't have no interest in you are appreciated.
Damn.
It's a good message, and the bars are good, but the thing is, I hate to say it, but I think a lot of the black guys we know growing up, they grew up in a similar situation with their mom and not a father figure. So I can understand why people totally gravitate to this. it just was not my circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why
Yeah.
it's not hard. It's not easy for me to relate to this song because I had a dad that was very present in my life. Like, and I lived with when my parents divorced, I lived with my dad. You don't see a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, so maybe it's something I need to go talk to a shrink about. I don't know. But yeah, I just don't relate to the song, and I get where people love it and they like it. I just, I think the flow's good, the beat's good, but it doesn't draw me in like a lot of people are drawn into it.
What's up, Hunt?
Yeah. Man, I like this song, man. When he said, even though she was a crack fiend mama, she always was a black queen mama. How can you not love that lyric right there? I like that. Wasn't my situation, you know what I mean? Had both parents and everything, but this is the equivalent of Will Smith's Summertime. You're gonna always hear it. You're gonna say,
Yeah.
hey, I like that song, man. It's nothing that I'm never going to get in the car and bump. But it's like, but Kev, like you said, this is who Tupac is, man. He's over here. He's
He
over there.
is
Hey,
everywhere.
he talking about what's your phone number? I get around, dear mama. Keep your head up. You know
Man,
what I
I say that.
mean? Everywhere I go, I see the same hoes. This is Tupac. He's subject matter, man. I always say that him and Ice Cube had this broad subject, man. He talk about anything they see, man. That's what an artist does, man.
Yeah, and the thing about Pac, and especially on this song, it's emotion. This is a emotional song, and it taps
Mm-hmm.
into an emotion that everybody can grow with. Like you said, Kelz, like you would hope everybody love their mama. And when I hear "Dear Mama," I think about my mom. We start playing the song on the radio station a week before Mother's Day. Like, all right, it's Mother's Day. We got to add this to heavy rotation for a whole entire week. Then it goes away until we sprinkle it in on the noon throwback or whatever. But if we don't play it on Mother's Day, we get phone calls. If we don't play this and Boys to Me, Mama, hey, man, it's Mother's Day. Hey, Mother's Day on Sunday. Hey, bro, it's Monday. Mother's Day is a week from now. We going to play it. Like it, and we get so many people like, hey man, I want to dedicate "Dear Mama" to my mama. Like we have to play the song constantly because the impact that it made on people's lives, and that's what Pac is to a lot of people, man. It's emotions.
Yeah,
He is an emotional dude, and for
yeah,
me, there's
very
no
true.
bigger emotion than talking about your mom. Like so, it's a
Yeah.
great record. I'm not even sure like if you type in the Spotify, if that's the first song to come up. So the first song to come up on Apple Music for Pac is not "Dear Mama." It is "California Love," and then "Dear Mama." So,
Oh, okay. Hey, okay. Well,
so now we into track 10. It ain't easy. Now not a great record, but my homeboy Damon, he had a Cutlass. He played this song nonstop. Mini story rap at the like want to say second or third verse. He tells like a mini story in there. It's okay, nothing great. What's up, Kelz?
G-funkish a little bit. It was part of that. It's not very good. I feel easy saying it's not very good because I know that everybody else is gonna agree with me. It's one of those songs. It might be a moment song where I remember some dude smoking weed listening to this song back
Mm-hmm.
in college, like sitting in a corner bumping this. But yeah, it's not super. Yeah, not
What's
great.
up, Hunt?
I don't hang with this song, man.
He's
let's take.
wait. He said I don't like this song. He said I don't hang with this song, nigga.
Man, but you gotta listen. But I get what he's saying. He said, "Will I see the penitentiary, or will he stay free?" This is what he had coming. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Because he was pending trial, I think, around this time when he was writing all this
yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes back to what you were saying. Where Kel go? He
No
went to the
man,
restroom.
I'm here. I just had to go clean up
Oh,
after.
okay, okay.
I
Um,
had to go spit take in my bathroom. Sorry.
Kev and Kel. This is one of them songs. What you just said earlier, Kev. He feel like he can take any beat, put his voice over it and make it into a great track. This is man, this is I don't know. I ain't really rocking with this song, but Tupac is a guy. You got to figure up to this. You know, you got him and Ice Cube making these movies. Ice Cube did Boys in the Hood, Higher Learning.
Yeah.
These two are kind of catapulted. Tupac is a guy who could walk into a room and catch all the attention right away because he's that charismatic.
Yeah.
He's gonna turn heads. You know what I mean? He's gonna smile. People gonna. He's that guy. And I think from what you just said, Kev, about him feeling he can just take any beat, it's evident, man, because this shouldn't be, man. This shouldn't even be a song, man. I get what he's saying. It is not easy. It wasn't easy being him. But, man, let's make the music good, okay?
Well, back to what you said, though, Hunt, that he was at that time, and if you look at it, I always say there's a category of people who I say transcend color. So O.J. Simpson in the 80s, Lenny Kravitz, Tom Cruise. These are guys that walk into the room and black women, white women, whoever, they just don't grab for him. And that's because he was a star. And
yeah, exactly.
And you know, and he was such a star. I feel that he was. That's why I always say he was more of a star than a rapper. And I think that, you know, this is just showing you right there of who he was.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Another bad song, track 11. Can You Get Away?
What do you mean?
This song is atrocious. Another positive message, I guess. You know, but like we keep saying, this is Tupac. He shows versatility in subject matters. Like, you don't hear other rappers. Like, the only other song that I can think about that's on this type of level is what's the Eve song?
Oh yeah.
Love Is Blind.
Yeah.
Got you.
her version of this style of song hit record. This piece of shit. The song's terrible. The song is terrible, dog. Like, but I mean, it's to be commended because he can rap about these things, but it's just not a good song. Like I've actually listened to the Eve song like on my own time, not recently, but when it came out, like, oh yeah, this was the shit. But like this, I would never listen to this song again, ever in life.
Gotcha. Who is Mike Mosley? Big Mike Mosley produced this. I don't know who this guy is, Mike Mosley, but yeah, I mean, it's what is it? What's the song? Maze and Frankie Beverly.
Frankie Beverly Maze sample.
Look, man, Tupac, like he told Biggie, man, you go do what the women want, man. They like this song, man, but I don't like it, man. So.
Yeah,
I don't like a lot of songs coming up, David. True, but go ahead.
I'm with you on this. My big two notes are Tupac the Saver and I like Beverly Maze. So I love Happy Feelings. I bet if Killer Kev was here, I bet he would tell you he plays Happy Feelings at some point, like when you about to wind the party down. So I feel like they tried to use that song as a sample to catapult it, but some stuff just isn't sample material.
Fair enough. Now we on to track 12, the old school. I really like this song. Blown away that I like this song. I'm a sucker for nostalgia. Just like everything he was talking about. Like, I remember doing a ton of these things. Y'all probably remember doing a lot more of this stuff than I did because I'm sure y'all a little bit older than me. But I just like the beat. I thought Premier did this beat. It sounded like a solid imitation of Premier. I really like old school. Where was you at with it, Kelz?
I thought it was good too, man. I was surprised because I was listening to it and I was bobbing my head. You find yourself bobbing your head to the song, and then it's the whole thing we all talk about, nostalgia. The same nostalgia that makes your brother eat the worst pizza in America and tell everybody that it's really good.
But
that's the thing, man. This is one of those songs that push you into place, man. And that's the one thing I always talk about when I talk about music. that is one of the one things that you can hear a song and you can close your eyes and you can see a moment or space and time. And that's what this song does.
What's up, Hunt?
Speaking of Jermaine's Angela Mia, when I picked him up from the airport in December, so listen, man, I live in Lyndhurst. I got an Angela Mia about a 1-minute drive from me.
He made you go to
let's go.
EC?
He's like, I said, I got one more about my house. No, man, we need to go to EC. I'm like, I don't want to even go to EC no more, man. Come on, man.
There's Angela Mia, right?
Huh?
Yeah, it's one on Richmond.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Maybe I should go home once more.
So, but this old school song is a song that I only need to hear it once. Okay, I only need to hear it once. When I heard it, I was like, man, like, hey, it's good that he's giving these people's pride, especially from him, because of what came next.
Right,
was
right,
this big East-West war, perceived war. But it let them know, like, look, man, no, he's still down with us. Like Queen Latifah, no, that's between them. He got love for New York, man, and for who came before him. But this is a song I only need to hear it once. I don't need to hear it twice. So, yeah, man.
Hey, I went and skipped straight to this song one day. I was like, man, let me hear that. While I was out from my walk, I got energized today. I like that song. You know what? I probably thought it was terrible when it came. I was like, I don't need to hear this. But like now, grown ass man, I really like it, man. Put me in a good mood. I really like that song.
That's my point. It makes your head. You're like, if you drive in the car, it's gonna make your head bob. And if you thinking of this is track 12.
Yeah.
12, yeah.
If you think about it's a lot of blah. This song it sounds different than a lot of the other stuff, but in a good way.
Yeah, because for me, tracks 1 through 5, we come out like gangbusters. For me, personally, like we coming out hitting a home run after home run, like really songs I really like. So like from 6 to 6, 7 to 8, I just really wasn't like over the moon about it. Dear Mama, you pick back up, but I mean it's still like basically a downer song. I mean it ain't the cheerful song, but then those 10 and 11 are just ugh. Those are the ones that are really ugh to me. Like the other stuff is bearable, but these two, 10 and 11, are ugh. But it picks back up with old school. So we into track 13, Afterworld. Basically addressing everything that's been going on, addressing all the issues that's been happening with him over the last 16 months. Another Shock G beat, Shock G on the hook. I really like the second verse on here, and this is a good version of G Funk on Afterworld to me. What's up, Big Hunt?
I don't like the chorus. They trying to say that I don't care. I don't like the chorus. I don't really rock with this song, man. Even though it's a Shock G, I got a lot of love for Shock G. I don't know if y'all ever heard on Digital Underground first CD, man. Production wise, that's a good CD, man. It's different, man. It's real different. So I always try to give him extra credit, man. You know what I mean? But nah, I can't do it on this song. But like you said, man, like it's a reoccurring thing, man. When we hear this CD, you gotta ask yourself, well, what would be my mentality going into this CD as well if I went through what he went through? A lot, man. He was traumatized, man. But I don't rock with this song.
He said all that to say, but I don't rock with this song.
Yeah.
What's up, Kelz?
I called this. For some reason, I said initially it didn't fit when I heard it the first time into the album, but just the way it musically sounded. But then I listened to it again. And I put, oh yeah, this is very G-funkish and not bad G-funkish. I thought it was an okay song, but I would say that a lot of this, I feel like a lot of music here needs some salt or some seasoning to it. And I feel like there's another song that needs some seasoning to it. It's just,
Okay. All right, so we on to track 14, Death Around the Corner. My notes on this, a tad bit overproduced. The girl talking at the beginning, talking about he at the window with the AK, obviously a Malcolm X reference. Then you get the clips from movies in there with the King of New York and Untouchables at the very end. But with all that said, this is now my favorite song on the album. This song, I love this song. I love the hook. I love the way they use the clip from American Me when we were kids. What was it? We just wanted to belong. Like that speaks out to me. I really love Death Around the Corner. That's my favorite song on the album by far. What's up, Kelz? You don't seem too impressed with Death Around the Corner. Like he's spitting, and that third verse is a monster.
No. I said that there was very good flow on this, but I remember this song so much because my one roommate, Star, used to love the beginning of the song with the bitch yelling at him. He just used to love it, and he would keep hitting the re part. He was like, man, this is what I felt like today. Happened to me when he was arguing with his girlfriend. But that's why that song, it definitely reminds me of college. But like it's a better song. Still not my favorite song. But with this album though, I feel like it's in the higher tier of songs, if that makes sense.
Okay. What's up, Hunt?
I'm with you, kid. It's my best song on here. It's my favorite song on here, and I think this is best flow on here, man.
Yeah.
Especially that third verse, man. I'm like, look, man, Tupac can't rap. There's a difference between how Biggie spits or Redman spits, but Tupac can rap. You know what I mean? He's not going to wow you with his verse, but he can rap. But this is I like his flow on here, man. This is my favorite song on here. Johnny J did a lot of Tupac work. I kind of got hip to him way later. Like a lot of people give him Johnny J a lot of praise, but I get what you're saying. They put a lot of some stuff from the Untouchables as well.
Yeah. Like it's just
family dead.
Yeah, it's overproduced. Like you don't need all that.
This is a good flow from Tupac, man. This is classic Tupac right here. This is my best song on the CD.
Yeah, I really love that song, man. And it's just all right. So we got the last song on the album, Outlaw with the Outlaws. I think it's a great way to end the CD. I know y'all not Outlaws fans. I don't think too many people are Outlaw fans, but I think they hold their own on this song. And I think 14 to 15 is a great way to end the CD and really, to be perfectly honest, save the CD. I think if these two songs weren't on the album, it would be a failure because you start out so strong and you do it the same way you end strong. So like the stuff in the middle is that, but you end strong with Old School, Afterworld, Death Around the Corner, and Outlaw. Like you end very strong. The middle was a little rocky, but you started great and you finished very strong with the last two tracks to me. What's up, Kelz?
I really like Pac's verse, the second verse, talking about realizing he's in hell, and that verse, man. I was trying to find the exact wording on the iTunes here, but that second verse, man, I feel that is, if Pac ever had a hip hop quotable, which we know he doesn't, this would probably be the one. This would be the one right here, man. I
think maybe on Death Around the Corner in the city.
Third verse.
This is not my favorite song on the CD.
Okay.
This is my favorite song. Temptation was the song when I listened to it in 1995, and I would say it's Outlaws, and it pains me to say that because nobody likes the Outlaws.
You're gonna get punched in the face, Kel.
Don't at me, nobody.
At C. Kelly on Instagram. That's where you can find this guy. What's up, Hunt?
This used to be my favorite song when I was riding to the CD in '95. Was this song? I still like the song. Yeah, I still like the song, but the Outlaws, man, man. God, if he just had a stronger crew behind him, man, I just never got it. But this is a
strong crew besides the Hit Squad. We already had this conversation. Nobody had a great crew. Biggie was writing the whole albums and letting dudes.
Dog Pound had a good crew.
There aren't a lot of
good crew. We got to do a podcast on crews, Kev.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, but I like this song. It used to be my favorite song, but for me, man, he should have left the Outlaws off of it, man. So.
No, but like Kev said, man, this is where and I'm not a Tupac defender. I'm not an Outlaws defender.
We know that.
But Kev, that's one. So Kev really put this in the space of these guys. These guys aren't great lyricists. You said they're not great lyricists, but they actually really delivered on this song. And
I'll give them. It's better on this song. I give them that. Yeah.
Another thing about the Outlaws, I don't know who was who. The only one that I know for sure is Fatal, like because it's a million of them. Like you said, Hunt, you got Idi Amin, you got
like the Wu-Tang, actually. Yeah, it is. It's like a New Jersey Wu-Tang or something, man.
So that's the thing about it. So in this album, listening to it back, what did y'all think about it overall?
That's Hunko.
Go ahead, Hunt.
Tupac, man, he is an icon in rap, man, for everything that he's done, for his CDs he's put out. Like I've never classified many of his CDs. I've never classified many of his CDs as classics. My favorite is Machiavelli. But this is a solid album, man. Like on a true 5 mic scale, I would give this a 4. On a true 5 mic scale, I'm gonna give it a 4. Not a 4.5, not a 5. That's what I would probably give this CD. So does it stand the test of time? It's got because it's got some Temptations, So Many Tears. It got some stuff on there that still stands the test of time. So it stands the test of time, man. So
for me, I think this is Tupac's best work overall because I think this is truly who he was. I don't think, as much as I love the double disc, as much as I really like the Machiavelli album, I don't think that's who he really was. I don't think
makes sense.
Tupac.
Okay, yeah.
The stuff that he was making with Tupacalypse Now and Strictly for My Niggas, I really like Strictly for My Niggas. It grew on me because I listened to it again after listening to this. But I think this is, if a true Tupac fan would see this as his best work, because this is truly who he was. It's all over the place, 1,000,001 different subject matters, and it's not, for lack of a better word, hateful. I think that's who he turns into when he's on death row. He turns into a very hateful person, even though I love it. It's entertaining music to listen to, but like this is who he was, and this is his best work by far to me, as much as I love the double CD. What's up, Kelz?
To me, as I've told Hunt, I've told you, this is what I think. I'm like you. I feel like this is his best work. Best work by far. And think in the 90s, there was a lot of music that came out. There wasn't a lot of quality music that came out. And I would say that,
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm glad you said that, because people of our age tend to say our era was the best. We had this person, that person. Yeah, they made some good music, but they also made a lot of trash too. Like, there wasn't so many guys that was cranking out great albums. Like, dudes that was cranking out great albums back to back. Like, the first person that comes to mind is Redman, who had like a 3-4 album run that, like, all right, man, this dude is killing it. Like, there wasn't a lot of those dudes, because like, for every Redman, you had a redhead Kingpin. So it ain't like, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't whack rappers in the 90s too, so, yeah. But continue.
Yeah, that's my point, that for a guy that I considered a single rapper, so he would have 1 or 2 singles, and then the rest was not very good. This is, to me, his best work, because as we all know, I'm not a fan, never have been a fan, but I would say for this album, best work. He put some quality stories in there, quality music. You can relate to some of it. Your head bop. You can play a lot of it now. A lot of it does transcend today, but at the same time too, I'm probably not gonna listen to it. I'll be out there. Like it.
Hold on, okay, hold on. So you say this is his best work? You only like 4 songs off the CD.
That's my point.
If that, maybe 3 songs.
No, I like you know,
Oh
I like
man.
Professor the Cat song. I like you know, I like more. I get
Oh man.
for everything, man. It's not like I always say before. I was an East Coast guy. I liked the East Coast music. This was okay compared to. This is significantly better than Strictly for My Niggas, in my opinion. We already
Yeah,
said that. Listen to Tupac Lives Now. Violent is 7 minutes long. So after 3,
yeah.
I don't want to hear it anymore. And the only reason I like Violent was because you probably had
reggae
a
beat.
speaker box or someone
Yeah,
had,
yeah.
and you would be the boom, 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 boom. That's all it was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and like Kev said, he turned into this, in my opinion, a very unlikable person in those next albums. Like I'm not the can we all get along guy, but you know, when you talk about this is how you know a true Tupac fan. When they tell you "Hit 'Em Up" is a good song. When someone tells
Man, they be
you, "Hit 'Em
saying
Up,"
they say like that's the greatest diss song ever. Come on, man. I
and
couldn't stand that song,
I
man.
respond like you would respond. Why don't you kick me a verse from "Hit 'Em Up"? You can say
Yeah.
"Who Shot You" all day. It'll be folk that'll tell you that that's a better song than "Who Shot You."
Man, listen. Then they got the Outlaws on it. You know how I feel about that.
my thing about Tupac in general is he's a star, and I know Kelz, you feel a type of way about him as a rapper, but like Hunt said, he is an icon in music. There's no way that people are still watching.
So was Will Smith.
But he's a better rapper than Will Smith.
But it's the same lane. Is my point.
I disagree. I disagree a lot because, like, the thing about Pac is emotion and his feeling, and there's a lot of good music. There's a ton of good music from Tupac, a ton of good music. But he's a superstar, and we talk about charisma, and that's what like pushed Ghostface over the top on the purple tape.
Yeah.
Like that matters. That matters. That matters in hip-hop. That matters in entertainment in general. Like he's a superstar. Like you said earlier, man. He couldn't walk into a place and just sit down and have lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
He's a superstar. And the thing about it, for Tupac, he's a rapper. There's a big difference between a rapper and a lyricist. Eminem, Redman, them dudes is lyricists. And I know that, like, you love that shit. I love it too. But there is a lane for emotion and there's a lane for rappers. And he is the top dog as like, hey, man, I'm a rapper.
No, Drake is a better rapper than him. I would say Drake, it's the same lane that Drake rapper lane. I think that Drake is a better rapper than Tupac.
I don't even know if I'd agree with that one, man.
Because no, this is why I say that. Because we say this when we talk about Drake, we always say Drake got the hits, but Drake don't have that great album. Pac got the hits. Pac don't have a great album. That's just my opinion. And so that's what, because when Kevin and I talk about Drake all the time, there is a banger on every album that you can play in the club from the now for infinity. Tupac, same category. So it's not that I don't dislike him. It's that I feel that people they try to put him in this Mount Rushmore thing. Nah, he's not a Mount Rushmore rapper. So
you think we could tell the story of rap music without Tupac Shakur?
I'm not saying that, but the nigga been eligible for the Hall of Fame for a long time and ain't got in yet.
Let me say this.
That's like talking about Billboard stats. Like that shit don't matter, man. Like we learned that shit don't matter watching the Versus battle with Jadakiss and Fab. Fab got all these hit records for the radio, and Jada washed him.
Right, but we already knew that because we know Jada suffers from the same thing that Nas suffers from. Bad beat selection.
This is what I want to say. When Tupac died, it never dawned on me that people actually considered him the greatest rapper ever. When they said, when they started crowning him the greatest rapper ever, I was like, huh? I was very confused. Like, whoa. I was like, well, when did this start? Like, I never considered him like top tier. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong though, because the Double and Machiavelli came out in his time of death. I mean, in the same year of death. So, you know, a lot of times your greatness takes a while to build. But I never thought, I was shocked when people were saying how great he was as far as like, oh, one of the greatest just died. I was like, huh? I was a little confused with that one.
He's not. But the same thing I addressed in the beginning of the pod, the Nipsey Hussle thing. People will talk you to death about how great Nipsey Hussle was. And think, when you listen to Victory Lap, his Grammy-nominated best album.
Hey man, I tried. I couldn't rock with it.
I like it.
I couldn't rock with it, man. Maybe I gotta take it back to.
I second that, sir.
Hey man, I think his interviews was better than his CDs, man. He got a great interview on Breakfast Club, man.
I second that. If you got something to say and you say it very well and you present it well, does not mean you're a good rapper. And that's what I think, that when you separate Tupac the person, he was a very complicated man, but I feel like if he was alive today, he would be doing a lot of good in the world we're in when we talk about Black Lives Matters and things like that. I feel like Pac would be a very strong voice and a good voice in that lane. But I just don't think the rapper Tupac is a good rapper. And I think that people get that mixed up. And
so my question is, why do you think so many of his peers thought he was so great?
Because he died at 25.
That's a great question, though, Kev.
Because arguably the best rapper of all time, B.I.G., loved him to death. Redman loved him to death. I don't know how much it counts, but Joe Budden loves him to death. So it's so many of his peers and people that do what he did think he's up there. He's top notch. Why do y'all think they think that way? I mean, they actually make the music.
I think as rap, his hip hop lovers like we do. When we put Biggie's Double CD on, we're going to be impressed lyrically over and over again. When we put a Redman CD on, we're going to be impressed lyrically over and over again. When you put a Tupac CD on, you're not going to be impressed lyrically like that. You're not going to check him and see him on the hip hop quotable. But Tupac's strength is songwriting.
Yes.
His strength is songwriting, man. This dude can write. He can take a subject matter. He knows how to start the song. Listen to how, what do you say? I smoke a blunt to take the pain out, and if I wasn't high, I really probably blow my brains out. I'm hopeless. Listen how he starts a song. He knows how to start it. He knows how to finish it. He's a great songwriter, man.
Right.
And really, that's all you need, man. A lot of people don't like all these lyrics, man. This may sound stupid.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like lyricists, man. They don't, man. That stuff goes way past them, man. Like my boy Marlon, man. Like Tupac's his favorite rapper of all time. Tupac and Too Short. He don't want to hear that Red, man. He think Wu-Tang is whack. He don't want to hear that stuff, man.
He don't like Red? Everybody loves Red, man.
No, man.
I've never met a person that don't like Red, man.
Some people just want rappers, man. They just want rappers, man. Like, they want to know exactly what you're talking about. They don't want to have to break nothing down. Tupac is the king of that, man.
Like Kev always says, there are a lot of good rappers who cannot write a song.
Yeah.
Like Cannabis.
Kev says that all the time. And I second him on that. That there are just a lot of good rappers who don't know how to write songs. So You know, so it's kind of like the Fab Jadakiss thing. Fab makes some catchy ass songs, but Jadakiss is probably a better rapper. Or I would rather listen to the Jadakiss lyrics before that. And that's all I'm saying is that if I gotta listen to 10 albums, man, Tupac ain't gonna be in my top 10 albums to listen to because you know if I want a songwriter, I got Drake for that. I listen to Drake. And that stuff is, to me, the stuff just relates better. It's more timely because I feel like the Drake songs are just better. I feel like Drake is that same thing. Well, I mean, just by song.
All right. So my
How,
other
how
question.
many mics you guys give this? True mics, like
4. I get it's a 4. I get it's a strong 4.
Okay.
I would say based on the time and place, 3.5 to 4, easy.
Okay.
So my question is, especially for myself, I ask myself the same question. Like, I love J. Cole because I relate to a lot of the stuff that he talks about. I relate to the song Dear Mama because, hey, everybody loves their mama, all that good stuff. But I love songs that I can relate to. But I also love the clips. I never sold a drug a day in my life. I love B.I.G. I never had a Rolex, pushed a crazy car or anything like that. So how come you guys think that since Tupac is so relatable to other people and everything they got going on in their lives, he doesn't relate to you as much, Kel?
I just don't. I just feel like he was a movie guy, and he's a good rapper, but you know I feel as if Tupac took the Bishop character and said, "I'm gonna go live as Bishop."
I don't get that until the Death Row days. I truly don't. Like I don't get that vibe from him until the Death Row days.
But you know what? But you know what, Cav? Those Death Row days overshadow the previous work, man.
Right, exactly.
I was listening to an MC8 interview, man. MC8 shot it straight down, man. He said, "Listen, man, Tupac went backwards in life." He said, "Because he was a Tragnew Park Crip, MC8." He said, was talking about how that stuff wasn't fun, going to enemy territory to the liquor store, having to watch your back. He said, why would this guy be a star? And that was his friend. 8 was his friend. He said, I don't understand why he would be a star and start banging with like claiming what Suge and was claiming. He said he went backwards, man. And those things overshadow like the music before, although I don't think those other CDs were that great. But people just take the Death Row days and pin it onto him, man. I mean, you got to figure, this is excluding, you got Me Against the World, even though it's not on Death Row. Shoot, man, his most of his music came the last 2 years of his life.
Yeah, I mean, what we did, we was looking at the timeline. Look how much music was recorded in that year and a half. I mean, he recorded
exactly.
He recorded a double CD and the Machiavelli, and not to mention, he was doing a ton of movies at that time too. So he was a working dude, man. And this is all in between the ages of 23 and 25. This is crazy amount of work. Crazy.
And his peers always say how much of a workhorse he was, man. I saw Scarface saying that Pac would come in the studio with him, like, man, why are you taking so long writing this song? Writing? Let's go. Because Pac would be like this, write it like that, man. They look up to him as a workhorse, and how quick he would bang that music out.
And the other thing that you gotta not give as much credit for on the double is a lot of those tracks were already laid and were for other people. And Suge said, "Hey man, Pac out of jail, we gotta blow Pac up. Like we got." It's kind of that's the thing where there was a lot of music. You know, everyone knows the guy did a lot of music, but at the same time, that double was a lot of, because didn't you say Kev, California Love was for somebody else?
Yeah, California Love's a Dre song. Got My Mind Made Up.
I know that's a Redman Dog Pound.
That's a Redman Dog Pound song. Can't See Me, a terrible sample by Dr. Dre, by the way. Was a Dr.
Dre has used that sample 5 times.
Like that song is god awful.
I'm just exaggerating. We'll talk about it.
Oh man. But yeah, you're right. I mean, for him, but I mean, still, but I mean, shoot, we saw it on all those mixtapes that got released after he died. How many other songs? So the amount of work he did in that time with Death Row is crazy. But it's like you said, I would have loved to see where he would have been if he was still around. Like, would he have turned that corner into becoming like the Pac we saw on Me Against the World and Strictly for My Niggas, and we really leading the march for Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. And we talk about that, how on the Biggie, when we did the Biggie pod, like we would love to see like Biggie making a song with Drake, Biggie making a song with the Migos, like because we saw Big can rap anybody's style when he did the Bone style. Like, those are things those are things not only, what I'm saying, obviously they were robbed of their lives and their families were robbed of them living, but us as hip hop fans, we was robbed of their greatness, of them being to evolve and to become superstars. So, that's where I'm at with it, man. So your boy ain't gonna make it, man. Y'all best friend ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it, man.
No,
but
I go to Vegas. I don't even tell him I'm coming no more. I just I'm here.
I'm here. Let's grab a beer. That dude. It's all good. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all coming on. Kelz, I appreciate you. Appreciate you listening to the Tupac. You said you listened to it 3 weeks out?
Yeah, 3 weeks out when you first initially sent the text, because I said I want to be super objective, because I know it's hard for me to be objective with somebody who I just didn't think was a very good. He put very good albums. I thought he was a single guy.
Okay, so hold on before we go, man. So on your first re-listen, what was your first initial thoughts?
Oh man, I'm not. I think because I might have been in my place in Omaha, and so I don't have no TV there. I don't have. I just got internet there, so I was just sitting there on the back porch, and it was 90 degrees, and it was humid, and I was just sitting there like, this is awful. And I think it might have been more of a circumstance.
So what listen did it take you to be like, oh, okay, I can fuck with this song that I'd never really fucked with before?
It was only 3, man. It was only 3. Come on, man. It was 3 out of 15, man.
I told you, man, I like If I Die Tonight, but at times the enunciation is very hard for me to hear.
It is on that song. I don't know what it is with him, but on that song, I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah. But yeah, it took me a few listens, but then I just liked it after that, man. And like I said, I think it might have been because of my circumstance, because I was sitting on a hot ass porch on 9-degree day.
So I like 8 out of the 14 songs. There's 15 tracks, but the intro don't count. So I like 8 out of the 14 songs. How many did you like?
Hold on. So is it a classic CD? Hey man, 8 out of 15? That's 50%. Is this a classic CD?
Well, it's 8 out of 14 songs because the intro.
Let me see here.
I don't. No, it's not classic. You know what I think is more classic than this? What was the Contest Most Wanted where they showed the picture of 8 from the top of? They showed the top of the car. Music to Drive By.
Music to Drive By.
I think Music to Drive By is more classic than this.
I counted like 7.
So you straight at 50%.
Yeah, I'm
100% 50%. So real quick, Kelz, you like If I Die Tonight?
Yep.
Did you like Me Against the World?
That's listenable, so we'll say yes.
So Many Tears.
Yes.
Temptations.
Yes.
Definitely not Young Nigga.
No, then you just go to Outlaws. Just go to Outlaws.
So you don't like nothing else between there. You don't. What about Old School? You said you was fucking with Old School.
Old School make your hair, Bob. Yeah, it's
you
cool.
Gotta get it, Kel. You gotta get his 2.5, Mike.
No, you said 4.
No, I said 3.5 to 4 just because remember at that time there was a lot of music coming out where you would have I think. So let me refocus this. So take the Nash album, the first Nash album. A lot of people consider that a 5 mic album, and if you think that's a 50, that's a 50. There's 10 tracks. You got 6 to 7 songs that you still listen to. So if you take that music in the place of time and you put it in front of a lot of other albums, I still think it's 3.5 to 4. That's all I'm saying. So I would say if you compare it to a lot of other music that came out at the time, it's better because think Channel Live came out in the 90s.
Mad isms.
Right, but they had one song, you know what I mean?
Oh, that song was great. I still listen to that song, man. But
Right. Had a album with one song on it.
I didn't count Me Against the World. I'm at 8-2, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's good shit. 8 out of 14.
Yeah.
You hit 8 out of 14 threes. You Steph Curry out here.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
And on that note, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all.
Appreciate y'all, man.